just the granddaddy of non-sport trading cards. Some may consider this to be the single most important and prolific card in existence. When Pokemon entered the United States in 1999, it was, nobody could have guessed it would become what it became. Obviously a product which is a fallout of the Game Boy game. The trading card competitive product is something that kind of spun out of all that. And then when it entered the United States, who could have ever guessed it'd become the world's #1 media brand? We like to remind people that from a pervasiveness, this is far exceeding even Star Wars and any other brand recognition from a media perspective. This is one of these things that it's worldwide, it's pervasive, and it's done more in sales than anything else since its inauguration in 1996. So that should hopefully put people in perspective as to why this is so important. This is a piece of human culture practically that spans the globe and really unites us in ways that I would argue only trading cards can. This example, of course, being the first edition, that ultra scarce, very important parallel designated by this small stamp here. These were the first issues that came out in that 1999 production. They are in essence the mirror of the unlimited version of the Holo Charizard, but it's that first edition stamp what sets this off as being the ultra scarce parallel. It's just one of these things for us that'll never be enough copies. There's only about 100 for the whole world to share. To put it in that perspective, there's probably about 100 million people worldwide who have reference to this card and the Pokemon brand who would like to own it. Doing the hard long division there, that means there's about one of these for every million people who might want to own one. It's easy to see why prices are rising. It's also to see why there's an argument that prices will continue to rise. The supply and demand is just all out of whack. So as it sits, as the world matures around tangible assets, as we're seeing this maturation of trading cards as a whole as that tangible asset investment medium, this is one of these cards that bridges the gap between sport, non-sport, pervasive, esoteric. This is as mainstream and blue chip as it gets, and we're absolutely delighted to have it. It's one of very few PSA 10s that will be brokered in recent times. Scanning around the periphery, we can see the card condition is as we would expect it to be given the lofty grade. Virtually perfect throughout. Corners and edges are all immaculate. There's no signs of wear. From the back, very similar to the front, absolutely pristine blue edges and corners throughout. It's just a beautiful, defect-free example of one of the most important investment pieces that exists in our market today. So encourage investors to take a closer look. It's anyone's guess how often these are going to surface, but with only 100 in existence, what we've shown statistically is that only about 10% of the market trades annually. So there only may be a dozen of these that surface for sale over the next 12 months. It could be less. So we encourage investors to take this seriously. These opportunities just don't surface very often.